Welcome to Simon NoChaNoMa, Simon's living room. Here we are, about to get out of the woods. Good morning, Pablo. Yes, thank you for joining me all the way from Arizona. And I checked the time there, and it's quite early. And it's very considerate of you as well. Good morning to you, and thank you for joining the live. Here we are, just about to go out of the woods and into the light. Here we go. And then we'll go back into the woods because there's another video coming up behind me on this one. But yes, why are we out of the woods? Well, I was in the woods making my advert, and that was going to be because it was going to be a show with a guest out and about. Hello, Peppo, Peepo, Peppo. How do you say that? Peppo, Pep. I never know. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. If Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper, how the Peppo 767. Anyway, where was I? Yes, drinking wine and rambling on. I was, we're in some woods in Sussex at the moment. I was in the woods making my advert because my guest was going to be out and about, and I thought that would be appropriate because he usually does videos out and about over in Fukui in Japan. That was Charlie No Seikatsu. He's been on before, and he was going to join again, and I was going to do a show with him actually doing a live kind of thing from Fukui, and it would have been an earlier broadcast, but that for some reason he contacted me earlier this week, just as I'd shot the footage in the woods, and said that unfortunately something had cropped up, and could we change the date? So at a certain point in the advert, you'll see me say something, but it's been overdubbed with 8:30 in my microphone voice to give the new time, because I had given the earlier time and not realizing, at that point I didn't know that his presence would have been cancelled, which is why I am now here on my own with you lot, and not with a guest. So it's going to be an interesting. You have to wake up at work to join me, all right? I have to wake up at work to work. Dibble was here earlier, and I'm hoping that that the regulars may turn up to join you. Not quite sure what Tomo will be doing. I was just chatting with my friend Inglanese before over in Yamaguchi, and he might pop in. And Nosh abroad said he would try and stay awake. He'd had a nap, so he'd had a power nap, but he was doing some modding at Only in Japan Go this morning. So whether he'll be able to make it, I don't know. But yes, out of the woods. So yes, we're out. I'm back in the woods actually here now. You can't see the wood for the trees. So it's going to be one of those rambling, and I'm counting largely on the audience. Actually, Pablo, if you're there, if you're still there, and I've not dropped off with my monotonous voice, did you get round to getting a Twitter account? Would you be in a fit state to be a guest at the moment? You're very welcome. There's an ominous silence from the viewers. There's probably multitasking going on. I mean, the thing with podcasts is that, like Give Me a Break Man's laundry videos, there's something to go on in the background while you're doing something else. And not all attention is focused on the podcaster, unless it has an interesting guest or a sparkling personality. Don't answer that. Well, so I've spammed everybody, as I usually do. But it's always the time that people are doing stuff. Oh, you really are at work at the moment. 4:21 in the morning. Good grief. Or was it 4:30? Peter. All right. Okay. That's easier. Yes, I shall be able to call you that when we Peter and I will be appearing together on a live stream from Maastricht, of all places, signing a treaty next week. um, yes, the future guest. When I go live, it's normally your work schedule. You'll be at work again next week when Peter and I are introducing the viewers to the wonders of Maastricht. Has a nice. It's a nice town, Maastricht. Lots of oldie buildings, and a river, if I remember correctly. Hopefully, Radri will pop in as well. He's working on getting a quite a high profile guest. Oh, I've got a Twitch thing, but I mean, I would have to do this again, or find a way of doing it simultaneously. I did once do a Twitch stream where I just screen grabbed what I was doing here and showed it on Twitch, but my computer struggled because it had two apps going at once. So whether that would, I don't know really. Yes, I don't really do it for the money or anything. I do it to keep me from going completely insane. I'm only just partially insane. I had a good few years of being completely insane with the two other old dudes on the old show, on my previous show, the three old dudes, and I'm now trying to be normal. High-end graphics and drink energy. Yeah, high-end graphics. Yes, I'd have to spend sort of money I haven't got on a computer just to do that. And I do. I do enjoy playing the odd game now and again, but not really enough to warrant showing it to an audience. And energy drinks, well, no, I mean that's my son's forte. I'm on the old grape juice. As normal as one can be under the circumstances. Oh, hang on, it's gone dark. The woods have gone dark. Perhaps this is the moment where I come out of the woods and go here and pause the woods and start this. There we go. And that's me in the living room and my favorite part of Tokyo in the top right corner there. How do I stop that? I can't stop it. Oh, never mind. Yes, I've just got this going because I'm not obviously able to get to Japan this year and or see this area. So I have to do it. I've got red wine. I've got a red wine mustache. Yes, it all has to be vicariously done remotely. 2020, the year of remote activity. But yes, talking about Japan, big news was that the Prime Minister resigned. I mean, it's an unfortunate reason for him to resign, that he had intestinal disease. Oh dear, passionate. I'm largely a man of equanimity rather than passion, unfortunately. So it's a bit difficult trying to drum up passion about existence. Yes, I mean it requires me to sort of get outside myself and try and believe in something, which is not easy for me. One topic. Well, I suppose yes. Uh, the meaning of existence. It's a fairly big topic and uh, fairly broad and open to interpretation. um, but I mean, they should teach it in schools, really, or philosophy at least, rather than just off pat. Um, and science, I believe that. I believe. I think that teaching science should be done with a caveat. In that, yes, it's a good method, and yes, you get results which can be practical, but the sort of the relative nature of it, and certainly when you get to the sort of subatomic level and so on, and the sort of the cosmological level, that those should be always underlined. Oh, I remember. You remember me asking Kiki what was the meaning of life? Oh dear. I'll have to ask Kiki that. See if she knows anything. Blimey. The meaning of life. Oh dear. Oi, oi, Robert. Is one of my as normal as can be former colleagues. Is now in the chat. I was just trying to tell the audience that I'm. I had 3 years of insanity, and now I'm trying to be normal. The meaning of life. The meaning of life is just to beget more life, and beyond that, I don't know. Men's health. Men's health. Don't ask me about men's health. Wine drinking. I mean, the nearest I get to health is having a salad now and again, and trying not to eat snacks or drink sugary drinks. Not for spelling. I know. I lost that. I'm lost there. Easily lost. Hang on. Men's or philosophical talks. Well, I did. My friend Shane from Kyoto. We had one show called Beer, Ice Cream, and Philosophy. And sort of the ratios between those things during the show were about equal. And it always helps to have beer when talking about philosophy. It helps things flow and stops blockages, mental blockages. Now I have to keep this show relatively clean and free, and because otherwise the guests that I'm hoping to get on will look at this and think, I'm not going on there. So a salad is more or less of a palate cleanser. No, it's what would you call it? I can't remember the word now. It's to make you feel less guilty about eating the meat that's next to it. Did I see any of the Transformer movies? 2, I think, on DVD when my sons were quite young and into that. Or one of them was, anyway. Giving meaning to life is the meaning of life. Yeah. Well, Buddha said, "Don't think too much about it." I'm paraphrasing the Buddha here. Sort of, he basically said, "Don't investigate sort of the nature of existence too much. Do more than think, and it will come naturally." Unfortunately, I suspect that was more to do with ancient Indian social structures, which were then transposed into equally rigid Chinese social structures, and whether that was actually a true statement by Buddha or just something apocryphal, I don't know. What is your main goal of live streaming? I don't want to deviate from your. Well, you don't want to deviate from my goal. All right, my mainstream is to provide a mild form of relaxing entertainment, um, which works better when you've got a guest. But I have to do my best on my own. That is the mission statement of the live stream channel. The mission statement of my old channel, which included vlogs, was just to be relaxing, really. None of this drama or YouTube stuff or excitement either. Don't come to my channel if you want excitement or drama. None of that. So yes, basically that's what I aim to do. It's a regular weekly ramble in all senses of the word. Me rambling on, your mind rambling. Infotainment. Yes, with a small info, a large tainment. I mean, I was watching Radri's stream the other day, and he'd done a little bit of research on what his guest had been up to, and I do that when I get guests on, particularly ones who are not long-time YouTube friends who I know more or less about. A clear message. My clear message is relax. Go with the flow. It all happens. What happens, happens. There's not a lot you can do about it. You can steer it a little bit. And for the sake of other people, it's sometimes necessary to steer what happens so that nobody is too put under too much stress. Somebody fell asleep or left. One of the two things, or both. So, Pablo, let me throw that right back at you. What is your goal and mission statement? Everybody else is busy at work. Pablo is thinking now what his mission statement will be. He waits. A podcast. Well, you have plenty of experience with being behind a mic, Robert, so it should go quite smoothly. Well, yes, you can be a little bit more empathetic to your co-workers, Pablo, I suppose. And if they see that you're chill with what's going on, they will chill too. Your mission statement is to support friends or someone who is deserving in their goals and to work, get money, live life, and take whatever it gives me with a smile. Yeah, sometimes it's all right to frown when you get lemons in life. Uh, but the thing is not to dwell on it too long. Or let it get you down. You have to have an outlet. This is my outlet for when things get me down. Rather than this. This only happens at the weekend on this show to make things go smoothly. Yes, it's okay to fall in the water, but don't stay there. Pull yourself out. So it's got rather deep, hasn't it? All of a sudden, it's not quite so relaxing as I anticipated. I mean, I thought it said today it was going to rain, because I did at one point consider actually going to the woods and doing a live stream from there, fuzzy picture or not. And now the sun is shining. I can see here, and so I could have done that. Undercover French Canadian. It's gone quiet. It's gone quiet. I'm sorry. Stream of consciousness dried up just there for a moment. I'll be spending the week watching Eddie Izzard on YouTube. And although he is a good comedian, but I think he certainly hones his material. And although he appears spontaneous and random and bizarre, I think it's largely worked on. And I just have to rely on being random, spontaneous, and bizarre. Doesn't always work. Still grey and rainy over the border. Well, he said today we could expect thundery showers, and it did look like that this morning. Talking about the weather, very British. Just hope next week it'll be all right on the day. I don't fancy wandering around Maastricht. Although I'll bring my umbrella. But yes, where was I? About the resignation of the Japanese Prime Minister. I was talking to my friend Inglenese, and he was wondering what was going to happen. And I said to him, well, the LDP will rummage around in Abe's desk, trying to find notes, desperately trying to do whatever Sensei had said he was going to do, and so just carry on, as it were. And the opposition will organise a meeting about a meeting to discuss what they're going to do, and it'll be on Zoom, and they will inform everybody by fax when the meeting starts, and then it'll be a race to see who can maintain the status quo the quickest. Coaches and Coffees. That's what this. I should have called it that. It's the Simon NoChaNoMa Coaches and Coffees show, but nobody would know what that means apart from a few of us. Sort of Holland, Belgium, and South Africa would all understand that. But yes, as you see, there's a living room behind me, and the idea is just to sort of sit back, relax, and talk coaches and coffees. Ah, yes, but Disney is banned in China, so it wouldn't work. Yes, and then we've got the upcoming elections in America. Oh dear. And Brexit, and all these kind of things are going to sort of wash over us. And this is what I meant by not being too relative, and actually doing something. Disney's making a comeback in China if Xi Jinping leaves. I don't think so. It's a question of dead man's shoes. That job, really. Don't think he's going to leave. Emperor Xi Jinping. Yeah, it's perfect storm. Although COVID-19 has rather taken the wind out of the sails and muddied the waters somewhat, or it's either speeded things up, such as impending collapse of free thought and democracy, or it's taken the wind out of the sails of the alt-right and the MRAs and all that business. Which is, not a bad thing, and unfortunately, millions of people have had to die because of it. Ah, yes, but should take a lesson from Singapore and Taiwan, really, to the rest of the world, how to deal with it. Not quite sure what happened in Sweden, though. I did briefly see the title of a YouTube video about what the results of Sweden's take on it were, but I didn't investigate. Here, it's kind of week to week changing of if the numbers start to go down slightly, then all of a sudden they said, right, you can. I was listening on the radio, classical radio, this morning, that a particular theatre or opera house, or no, that was it. The Dutch speaking, the Flemish speaking half of Belgium is now in line with the French speaking half as far as theatre goers are concerned, in that you can now sit 1 meter away from somebody else in the audience. Before, it was just the French speakers that were allowed to do that, and now this week it's been agreed that that as a member of the audience in the Dutch speaking half, you are now also entitled just to sit no less than 1 meter away. Before, it was much more. You had to have like 3 seats or something between you. Everybody thinks, "No, this is fantastic. This is wonderful. We've now we've achieved parity, and we have now, this is progress." And I'm thinking, bloody hell, progress is like a vaccine, and when the thing's finished and everything's back to normal. Duarte wants to soak the face masks in petrol. Yeah, it makes you wonder sort of how these people sort of made it. Did you have to have what the qualifications for becoming a leader of a country? Must not have a university degree, must not have been to school longer than the age of 12. God almighty. Yes, demonstrations in riots in major cities. Not, I mean, yes, that is also one of the downsides of you shall wear masks. You shall wear masks. Black Lives Matter. Blah blah blah. And so the alt right gets the wind up. No, it's a left wing conspiracy that we have to wear masks. Let's riot. And the Antifa says it's and BLM says no. And I'm getting political here. I shall stop. Protests and riots are the new norm. The thing is, protests and riots, you don't see a lot of people our age protesting and rioting. It's never grannies and granddads who are throwing tear gas grenades back at the police, or 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 anything like that. It's the young people. Although my sons, not to bring them into in any kind of political debate, but they roll their eyes at some things that the young people do, even though they are the same age. Yes, different views. As I say, my view is one of equanimity, and I mean, certainly from the perspective of Einstein's special theory of relativity, which I've mentioned before on this show. I was watching something about it the other day, that time is like basically there's a beginning and there's an end and a middle of time, and everything in between, and it's all exists at the same time, as it were. Time exists at the same time, but I mean, if you know what I mean, there is no. We only perceive it as happening because we can't perceive the future, and the past is lost to us, apart from archaeology. So you're perceiving the now, as it were, every second. So, I mean, if you watch the replay, you will know that the beginning of the show occurred at a certain time and did exist, and I was rambling on back then. But now, as you're listening, I'm rambling on right now, and for another 30 minutes, you can expect me to ramble on. And it will all have occurred, and it will all be essentially real, and will have happened. Are you still there, Peter? Are you thinking, oh God, what am I in for next week? We'll just look at buildings and talk random cooches and calfias. We'll be all right. I'm never good on Twitch. I mean, the most of the audience on Twitter on Twitch is under the influence of one or other psychotropic substance. Yes, you can all chip in and converse with. That is also one of the reasons I do this show, to chip in and converse with the audience, interact. This is what got me into watching live, as they were hangouts, as they were called at the time. That you have, and now it's common, but back then it was amazing that you could talk to somebody on the screen live. And that wasn't just a Skype conversation. So yes, all this has happened. We've all been dead for billions of years. The universe has ended, but we don't know. We don't get there yet. Only sort of the last humans might sort of realize this and live better lives accordingly, or not, if they all realize it's all happened anyway. There goes free will down the toilet. Other than the fact that you're not aware of what's going to happen, so you have a kind of free will. Yes, I mean, the teaching philosophy in school would improve things, I think, quite a lot, in the sense that there would be much less emphasis on how important this, that, or the other is. It would all be a bit more relative. People would chill a bit more. Yes, everything you see in the sky at night quite a lot of it no longer exists. It blew up millions of years ago and is now just space dust. But we only see, and conversely, of course, any sort of sentient beings at the other side of the galaxy, or where, if there is a side, looking back at us, we would not exist. They would be seeing the light that came from the sun when the dinosaurs were wandering about. No, I think we've got about 5 billion years left, Robert. Or the sun has, and then it blows up. So, I mean, that's a very long time, naturally. But it is a definite end. Oh, it's Ty here. Sorry. Hi, Ty. Didn't see you there. It's my early morning crowd from across the pond. I think where I'm trying to think. Arizona. That's sort of central. Is that central time, or is it Pacific time? I think Tomo is not coming today, and Nosh must have fallen asleep. He's Pacific time. And all the ones from Japan time are now having dinner or something. Mountain time, yes, it's sort of, yes, kind of centralish. On a dog's back, the cosmic dog. I prefer the cosmic cat, actually. Cosmic cat, you get a sense that it kind of knows what's going on, whereas the cosmic dog is a bit like. Oh, I think we're in Kyoto now. You can tell by the lack of people. This is like wandering around the back streets of Kyoto a couple of weeks ago or so. An ideal time to go to Japan, actually, if you could get there. Also, staying indoors. I don't have to wear a mask. I went out this morning. I was going to get a haircut, actually, this morning. Cooches and coffees again. And blithely walked into the hairdressers. Only to see a chap go in before me. I thought I was early enough, but no. And went upstairs, and we were wearing our masks as we're supposed to do. And then the hairdresser came in, or the barber, and asked whether I'd made an appointment. So that's the latest thing. Even for a bloke, you have to make an appointment now to have a trim. So, and then I went into town for my usual coffee and chocolates on a Saturday, which I've missed, having done the live streams outside for a few weeks now. I should wear a superhero mask. I'm trying to think, what would that would be Rorschach from the Watchmen. He has a mask here, doesn't he? And all the others have their masks up here, which is a bit useless. Hey, I'm Simon. You're not wearing a mask, but I am wearing a mask. Yes, but you're infecting everybody. Oh, bugger. Hi, Rodri. Spider-Man. Yeah, full face mask. Yes. I was trying to think think of some superheroes whose entire face is covered, and I can only think, yeah, Spider-Man. Silver Surfer, is just silver and has a face. Yes. Infectomask. Infectoman. As long as I don't have to wear the underpants outside, that'll be all right. Well, we have to wear it not only in public transport, but in main shopping streets, in shops, in the coffee shop as well. When I went in, you have to wear it up at the counter, but you can take it off and go and sit down as long as you're not sat next to anybody, unless that person is in your bubble. A Trump mask. Ooh. I have a Trump mask in this cupboard here, and a Hillary Clinton mask that I once wore on Three Old Dudes when it was still going. Trump was a puppet. I didn't wear the Trump mask, and I wore the Hillary mask and had a chiffon scarf. It's the kind of show we did back then, which will not be occurring now. Bugger the views. No, I shall not. I shall not have another glass of wine. I appear to be doing quite well without it, and as you all know, I go and pick up my son after the show. So hilarious, yes. Where is it? Oh, it's in a box down there somewhere. No, I'm not going to root about for it. We all know what she looks like anyway. Don't have one. No, I had half a glass of beer with my lunch, and now I've had a glass of wine. So got to keep things. Got to keep the old brain on the straight and narrow. Where were we? The end of life as we know it. Hillary Clinton and masks. Okay. Favorite type of wine? Good question. Red wine. It would have to be probably either Cabernet Sauvignon or Merlot, or Californian Red. Some Californian Reds are rather just juice-like. Nice. Or rosé wine, Cabernet Anjou, which I had the other week. Very drinkable. Too drinkable, really. And white wine. What was it I had? Well, generally, I mean, Liebfraumilch, which is sweet, almost sweet white German wine, also very drinkable. It has to be drinkable. You haven't got to roll it around your mouth and go, yes, notes of this, notes of that. You've got to be able to go. There's a huge hurricane warning and tornadoes. Pinot Grigio, Pinot and Pinot Noir. Okay, yeah. Bit heavy on the wallet. Where did I put my wallet, actually? Yes. So, I mean, what are your favorite wines, audience? Merlot. Well, this was a Merlot. You're more into beer. Well, yes. You can have Heineken or Heineken. Sorry. What is that Italian table wine type? The ones you find at the bottom of a trash can. Box wine. Yes. with a tap on it, so you can just go. Hertogjan. Okay, something peeping in the background. It must be a car reversing or something. I hope. Pabst Blue Ribbon, as long as it's not Budweiser. Hang on. Oh, there's a strange beeping noise. Oh, it's stopped now. Must be somebody's car alarm or something. Oh, it started again. Yes, it's definitely a car alarm. You don't hear those much these days. I think manufacturers got wise to the fact that they're bloody annoying. It's your sanity leaving. This is the Out of the Woods show. You're out of the woods, but you're not out of trouble yet. Anything but Heineken. I don't know. Reaches the parts other beers cannot reach. Whether that's a good thing, I don't know. Chianti. Any white wine that makes you go, it's not the white wine that I like. Blue Velvet. Ah. There we are. For film references, please refer to Radri in the comments. Have I tried Fat Tire? It's a beer. No. I've had Lancaster Bomber, Old Tom. I've had Old Tom. I used to drink Old Tom at lunchtimes at art college. It was sort of a black beer and quite strong. That's what you did at art college for inspiration. It's definitely inspiration. Back in the days when you got government subsidized grants. This is probably why they took them away and people had to pay for their college degrees, because they're spending all the money on beer. Any beer will do. Yes, I draw the line at we have something here in the supermarket called Kaiser beer, and it's like that own brand beer kind of thing. No. Hey, Tomo. Yes, you've got 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Are you out of the bath? In the bath? What English have you learnt while you've been asleep? I read your tweet about learning English being asleep. Can I talk about beer all day? No. Not really. About 5 minutes. Right, let's do Kufius and Kalfius with Tomo. Has the weather settled down a bit there in Shikoku, Tomo? Has it got sensible, or is it still ridiculously hot? I was chatting with Englandese in Yamaguchi this morning, or just before the show, and he said he was going to wander out into the heat. And I think Only in Japan Go was on this morning, and he was wandering about in shorts and a t-shirt. You're not in the bath. I'm not an alcoholic that I'm aware of. I don't know. I'm a weekend alcoholic, or a Saturday alcoholic. I like to dabble in addictions during the week. Will you ever make another video, Tomo? I'm wondering this because I've not seen one for quite some time. Not that I've made any videos other than doing this. I mean, I can't talk really. One day I shall get round to doing it. I mean, Radri could understand. I mean, because you haven't made a video for ages either. But you've generally done this kind of thing, and even moved off YouTube entirely. If I can dab, I can't dab. I've done something to my shoulder at work. I can't dab. Dabble. Dab. I thought dabble. Dibble, dabble. I can't dab. Oh yeah, it's Simon dabbing. The one and only time on Simon NoChaNoMa lasted all of like 3 seconds. Simon NoChaNoMa dabbed. Part-time alcoholic. It's getting a little cooler, but still hot. Yes, again, it's relative, isn't it? It's, I think I was looking at Amami Island in Oshima. Because my friend from Nihonbashi is possibly going to go there for a holiday. 26 degrees it was going to be. Yes. Part-time alcoholic. Simon NoChaNoMa, part-time alcoholic. That's my merch. No. Never. Simon NoChaNoMa bobblehead. Simon NoChaNoMa nodding dog. It's not good. You have those on your dashboard and cause motorway accidents as you nod off with my monotonous voice. You just pull a cord on the nodding dog, on the nodding Simon NoChaNoMa, and you get an entire living room show played back to you, and you crash on the motorway. Don't sell merch. No. We tried that, didn't we, Robert? Yes. We've got bits of merch here and there from the old show. I don't think it, 3D printed me in a living room. The colouring book. When you're watching the show and, get bored. Dot to dot. Yeah, dot to dot. Simon NoChaNoMa, dot to dot. What will it be? Well, I've nearly made it through another show. Unfortunately, unlike Radri, I don't have a partner to come in and liven things up. But next week on the show, I will be in a Dutch town, historic town, which I shall be driving to, and Peepo67, will be meeting up with me there. And for those of you who don't know, Peepo is a moderator on Tomoko Tomoko's live streams. So that's how I got to know him. And so she'll be discussing Maastricht and Tomoko Tomoko. And the week after that, what is it? That's the 12th. The 12th. I don't think I've got anything for the 12th. I'm still working on that with Eric and Riken to try and get them. Riken's up for it. Eric's not replying. But yes, 12th of September. How's that looking for you, Radri? But yeah, That could be 12th. And then the 19th, finally, the Shamisen trio will be back from Berlin. They'll be on. And then I think Stuffer, who were supposed to be on earlier this year, and then they cancelled, and they're supposed to be on again, and then they cancelled. They're hopefully going to be on the 26th. That's of September. And in October, I've got that chap Phil. Randry knows who he is, and I have to build Phil up and promote him a little bit so that people know who he is. But he's going to be on in the beginning of October sometime. Oh, yeah, there's no worries. I mean, I would have informed you anyway, but I'm still trying to get Eric to give me a definite answer. And Rican and I are now following each other on our various Instagram accounts. So, and I've messaged him backwards and forwards. So he's up for it. Just need to have a date, and Eric being in. Stuffer, Stufr. It's a gay couple from Holland who do like music reviews and food stuff. That's why it's called Stuffer. That chap Phil. Instagram. Well, Instagram's all right. I use it mostly to promote this show and randomly show Instagram pictures and contact people. Hopefully at Christmas, I'm going to meet up. I'm going to have my first Instagram meetup. Hopefully, when I go, if it's possible to go to England at Christmas. An Instagrammer who lives in Merseyside. Right, I'm going to pause Kyoto for a minute while we wind down. How do I pause it? Playlist. No, not that one. This one. This window. Pause. There we are. So this show almost never happened because yesterday I decided that Windows 10 was telling me it needs to update. So I decided to, click update. And it took about 3 hours to update. And then when it started up again, all things were disconnected. Like the microphone was not recognized. The Minicam was not recognized. I had to reinstall stuff and reconnect stuff, but it's all back now. It's all working. You had to do your job. You're just back in time for me to say goodbye. Well, if you're still there, Ty, goodbye. If you're still there, Tomo, now is your time for your bath. If Peter's still there, aren't you? Yes, I'll be in touch with you, Peter, about next week. Pablo, you're just back from your job, but I'm just about to go. So thank you for being a great supporter. Radri, you're probably going to do a dinner stream, aren't you, on Twitch? If you are, it'll beep on my phone, and I might be able to pop in there. But thanks for joining, everybody. I'll see you next week, Peter, and I'll see you all. And all of you will see me next week with Peter. You'll see what he looks like, and I will too. Okay, thanks, everybody. See you next week. And thank you for everybody watching the replay. And I don't edit these, so you'll just have to sort of fast forward through the pauses and where I stumble along. Okay. And this show was brought to you by the End of the Universe. Okay, bye.